some other 1,000-yard receivers. Give me your over-unders on these guys. DeVante Parker had 12.02 last year. Broke out in year 5. Late bloomer like Robert Woods. Good for him. Balled out with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Maybe it's him. He's got that rapport. Maybe it's Tua the rookie. We'll see. He did get the ball to a pair of first-round receivers in Ruggs and Judy. So are you guys taking the over or under on DeVante Parker?
Definitely over. I mean, he's had some health issues in the past, but I think if he plays with Fitz all year, I mean, this kind of depends on who's playing quarterback most of the year. If they're going to go straight to Tua right away, then it might be hard for me to see him getting 1,000 yards. But if they go with Fitz, then I like what I'm seeing. Like, man, that guy is so talented when he's healthy. I remember watching him against the Eagles last year. He just nut sacked our whole secondary, crazy catches. Like, that dude is, when he's healthy, he's super talented. I really like his game. I don't know what took him so long. Probably just being in Miami and it's just weird over there, But yeah, I like everything about him. If like I said, if he's healthy. So, and obviously it depends what do you guys think about? Does Tua play right away? Does he play halfway through if they struggle? What do you guys think?
Good question. I think Fitz starts week 1 at least, maybe for a month.
Yep, that's exactly what I have. 4 games. I mean, look, you guys have seen it happen over and over. Fitz magic, but that magic only lasts for anywhere from 3 to 4 games. Maybe it gets to the 5th or 6th, but I don't think it's going to get that far. If the Dolphins are like me, and I think they are, I love Tua, man. I think this kid is something special. I think he's it's kind of hard to say, but following in the lines of Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, I think Tua is in that notion. He's cerebral, he's poised, he's confident, he's not shaken, and he can get over humps, he can get over obstacles. I mean, I don't know if you guys watch a lot of college football, but I mean, the dude played in the SEC and he destroyed those NFL defenses. Most NFL starters, top money earners, they're coming from the SEC. He destroyed those defenses. He even played LSU, who won the title last year, played against LSU on one leg, if you don't remember that, and threw 460 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's insane. And LSU broke the record, too, for defensive players taken in the first round. I think in the first 3 rounds also. So this guy, I think, is the real deal. Obviously, with any player out there, there's always injury risk. I don't care if you've never been hurt or been hurt before. Everyone is subject to an injury on every player. But you're going to have to take that chance. You know what I mean? So I think they took that chance. I think Tua is going to be the guy. Not week 1. Like Wes said, I think it'll take about 4 to 6 weeks. But he's just definitely going to be the plug and play as far as over-under. I don't see it with DeVante just because of those 2 options. Fitzmagic's magic running out a little bit too early, and them being a little bit more careful with Tua when he comes to start for the Dolphins. But don't forget that division. I mean, I don't think there's a better secondary as far as 4 teams in the division. I don't think there's a better secondary that they're going to face twice a year. Bills, Patriots, Jets. That's tough, man.
Good point. That is tough.
I should add too for my prediction is that I don't even think Fitz needs to be good necessarily, but if they get in a lot of shootouts like they did last year, where he might throw 4 picks in the first quarter and they're down 30-0. 3 straight quarters of just airing it out, baby. So
yeah, that's when he gets pulled. That's when the plug's pulled, man. That's where you see Tua come out.
Yeah, so I'm kind of factoring that into not
the garbage.
They're not going to have a lot of leads in games, so they're going to be thrown a little more. So I think that'll factor into it too.
Cool. All right. Well, I think as a product of the offense and being, I guess, the best player on that team right now, I'll take the over at this point. But it's more of a situation and them drafting him high, and then it's more of that. I think they'll feature him. I'm not really all about DeVante Parker, to be honest. All right, Carolina, 1,175 yards last year. DJ Moore, new staff, over or under?
I know what Paul's gonna say.
Yeah, I love this kid, man. He's good, but yeah, my only question is they're gonna have a completely new head coach, completely new quarterback. They're probably gonna be run heavy, but I mean he's the clear number one option on that team as far as throwing the ball. I mean, look at the year he put up last year with freaking Kyle Allen and the whole quarterback mess they went through last year. So, man, I think the sky's the limit for this kid. He could be. If they had a better, quarterback situation, I like Teddy, but for me, he's more of a game manager than, a guy who's going to like win the game passing it. So, I mean, if they had a little bit better of a quarterback situation, I'd put him like, close to top 5 as far as, I just think he's super special.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think he's super special too. I don't know about top 5. I would have to dive in a little bit deeper, maybe as deep as you've dug so far. But I do really like the guy. The only thing I really have in my notes here is eventually, in time, his talent will prevail. That's all I have. Just because you see the guy play, he's nuts. With CMC and all those target shares, with the lack of elites or even decent quarterback play. I mean, he puts up great numbers. Guy's a nut, man. He's one of the most underrated route runners in the league, I think, and to do it on a team like that, that's pretty awesome.
Dude, I had no idea all 3 of us like DJ Moore this much. Wow, I guess that's one of those players in fantasy you kind of keep to yourself, your opinion a little bit, because I think we all I think we all love DJ Moore. So I take the over, but I do say I am a little worried. Curtis Samuel's there, Robbie Anderson's there. They're not better, but they're capable and they're there. CMC,
yeah.
If CMC is going to hog up another 80 to 100 and whatever catches, that hurts. So I don't think it's a slam dunk, but I think he gets there too. Wow. All right. The next guy on this list, I'm a hard no on. He got 1,112 yards. New offensive coordinator in Pat Shurmur. The Broncos drafted Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. They're expecting Noah Fant to have a larger role. They signed Melvin Gordon. They give the ball to Phillip Lindsay. But they have a young quarterback in Drew Lock. We don't know. I'm going under on Courtland Sutton. I saw him go between 72 yards and 120 yards 7 times in 11 games with Joe Flacco. He only hit that twice in 5 games with Drew Lock. It's not the end-all, be-all, though, because Drew Lock, rookie, Broncos, struggling team. I get that. I'm factoring that in, too. I just think when you look at from the lens of a Broncos fan, they want to get all their players involved. I think that hurts Sutton. I don't think Sutton's a top 20 receiver in the league, maybe not even 30. I'd have to really look at that. So, yeah, that's an easy under for me, but maybe one of you guys, if you think it's an over, maybe you can sway me over.
No, I agree. It was actually a close one for me. I actually love his talent, and I loved watching him play last year. He was on a few of my fantasy teams, and he's super for how tall he is. He's super smooth, with his route running. For he's still pretty raw. He's only been in the league a couple of years, so just to see his progression, last year was pretty awesome. So I'm really pulling for him, but it's just like you said, the weapons that they drafted, and the biggest for me is I just don't think Drew Lock is a capable quarterback. I mean, he had a couple good games last year. I think he kind of took defenses by storm a little bit before they kind of like had tape on him and knew what he was about. But then, over time, he kind of started struggling more. He, like you said, he's young. He could turn it around, but based on what I've seen him from last year, I don't see it from Drew Lock. So I think that'll be his biggest hurdle.
Same. I'm on the under. They took Jerry Jeudy high. So, Jerry Judy's a phenomenal athlete. He's a great route runner. He's definitely going to get looks. I don't knock his talent at all. So I think you're right there. Yeah, he's a big body. He definitely has some crazy body control. You see him make some crazy, amazing catches last year. Not really anything to say about Drew Lock. I don't really like to judge rookies off of, or quarterbacks off of 1 year. I like to wait, honestly, at least 3 to 4 years to fully give my say. But, there's just too many weapons for this new coordinator to implement, and we don't really know if Sutton's going to be there. And, again, it's Drew Lock's second year, so even if he is a number one guy, I still would be kind of iffy with him going over 100. So I'll take the under.
All right, clean sweep there. Even though all Broncos fans would want all of us to know that aren't Broncos fans that Drew Lock went 4-1.
I know.
I know too. Still don't care. Sorry, Denver. All right, over in Big D, 11:07 for Michael Gallup. Got a new head coach. CeeDee Lamb now in the mix. Dak Prescott. Maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't. Paul?
Yeah.
Over, under, 1,000 for Michael Gallup.
I definitely taken the under here. There's a few different things going on. They got obviously, with Amari there, he broke out last year for sure. But they also drafted CeeDee Lamb, so he's going to be, he's a rookie, but he's going to be a competition for targets. They should run the ball a little more next year. They still got Zeke. They still got a pretty formidable O-line. So I just don't think the opportunities will be there like they were last year. And I think just watching Cowboys games last year, I think a big thing that that kind of helped, Dak set records for passing yards, and a lot of people, Amari and Gallup having big games is because, man, they were king of garbage time. Watching them last year, like they had some monster garbage time performances. Especially looking at that Green Bay game.
Green Bay, yeah.
A couple other games too. They just got boat raced in the first half, and then and then the second half, they'd make it somewhat interesting. But man, Dak and Co, those guys were king of garbage time. Like I just really thought that was interesting last year watching them. That I think that was a big reason for their big offensive stats last year. So I think you got to take that into context when you're kind of evaluating them this year, and you shouldn't expect them to be a top 5 offense again. I don't, at least in my mind. And plus, their defense is still as questionable as ever. They lost people. They didn't really add much. So yeah, just based on all that, I don't see the 1,000 yards for Gallup.
I'm going to take some of those points, but actually flip them in my favor to say that Michael Gallup's going to hit the over. One of the main things that jumps out at me is he missed 2 games last year and he still hit. I honestly think the Kellen Moore-McCarthy tandem is going to work. I think that's going to be pretty filthy. But based off of what you said about the garbage time, I think it's going to be the same thing this year. I don't really see Dallas going that far because of the fact that they lost one of the best and most agile and intelligent linemen in Travis Frederick. But on the flip side, you lost Robert Quinn. That was actually their sack leader. It wasn't DeMarcus Lawrence. Jeff Heath is not a big name, but he's, he gets a lot of the playing time. He gets most of the snaps in the safety position. And then they lost their top flight corner in Byron Jones. So were they all replaced? No, none of them were replaced. So I think getting boat raced in the first half, we're going to see a lot of that this year. Playing from behind, we're going to see a lot of that this year too. And again, with the CeeDee Lamb thing, it's kind of my issue with all rookies this year. What kind of share time are they going to have? and quality time are they going to have with these offenses to produce? I mean, Randall Cobb had a pretty sick year last year. You know, he was on, I would say, at least 80% of fantasy rosters. Is that all going to go to CeeDee Lamb in his rookie year with limited practice? I don't think so. Michael Gallup also struggled with a lot of drops. For as much talent as he has, I don't think that's going to continue. I think he'll make that. I think he'll surpass that, and I think he'll definitely hit the 1K.
Nice. All right. You guys put me on the spot to split this decision. Well, look, let me throw some shine on Dallas real quick instead of all three of us kind of piling on them, except you gave some love to Gallup, Drew. They think they replaced Byron Jones with Trevon Diggs in the second round from Bama. They think – I didn't say I think. Dallas thinks. Look, I went back to look at Mike McCarthy's best seasons with three wideouts being absolutely productive. So 2016, Jordy Nelson had 1257. DeVante Adams. DeVante had 997. That same year, Randall Cobb had 610. It's productive. In 2014, the other year I found where McCarthy engineered three productive receivers. Jordy, again, at 1517. That's a lot of freaking yards. And Cobb, 1287. A duo that year. And then a rookie DeVante Adams posted 446. So you had Cobb getting 610 one year as a third receiver, Adams getting 446 another year. Somewhere along that, I would consider the median for CeeDee Lamb. So, because I do think Lamb is the third wheel in that situation, he's going to have to earn it. It's not going to be given. He's gonna be that third guy on the field, but he's going to have to earn that target share over Michael Gallup because, yeah, close game, blowout, whatever it was, Prescott went to Gallup enough for 11:07, and like you said, Drew, missing a couple games too. So I think there's a chance all three can be productive. I think there's a chance Michael Gallup can get 1,000 yards. I don't think he gets there, though. I'm with you, Paul. Don't think Gallup quite gets there. Here's a player I like, all right? He's over in the AFC. Just got over 1,000 yards, had 1,008. Has a new head coach. They drafted receiver Laviska Shenault as DJ Chark. He's with Gardner Minshew. His new OC is Jay Gruden. Think of what you will as a head coach. Maybe he's a good OC. Over or under on DJ Chark?
I gotta go with the under. I really do like Chark. You know, the year he had last year, you know, kind of, you know, coming out the way he did. But I just think a combination of, you know, like you said, Jay Gruden being the new coordinator, and you know, I think, and then with Fournette there, I just think, you know, they're going to lean on the run game a lot, just because I don't know how much they're going to trust Minshew to be a passer next year. And I guess the one thing they do have going for them is, you know, they're probably not going to be very good next year, so they might be down a lot. So they might be in kind of those situations where they're throwing because they're behind. So from that aspect, I could see it, but my gut says no, just because I think, as much as I love Gardner Minshew, I think he still has a long way to go as a true like passer, and then just the fact that they'll be running the ball a lot. So just based on that, I'll say no.
Bring out the bandana and the short jean shorts, man. I'm all about Gardner Minshew from last year so far. Again, I don't like to judge too much within the first, second year. Give me at least 3, but I like what I've seen so far. I think he's a gunslinger. I think he moves around well, and he seems to always find his receivers meaning DJ Chark. Overall, I just think DJ Chark is just too talented not to hit it. I think the Gruden addition helps him. The Shenault draft, he's a great talent. He's a great physical specimen, but he also did have a core surgery this offseason. So is he going to be there in time? Or will he be, you know, lagging a few weeks into the regular season? That's chemistry lost right there. So you're already kind of pushed back with the pandemic with that lack of time Minshew and Chark already have that chemistry, like we talked about before. I think it's all systems go. I mean, DJ Chark he seems to catch everything. He's kind of in that. I mean, I like DK Metcalf a lot better, but before DK Metcalf hit that hype button, for me, it was DJ Chark. So I'm on board for 1K.
Damn.
And the Jags don't get love. Nobody watches the Jags. They can't even afford their own local time slot. But if you watch the Jags, shout out to NFL Game Pass. DJ Chark is doing some things out there.
I like me some Chris Conley. He's underrated.
Chris Conley getting a shout out.
Yeah.
Man.
Is he a wrestler?
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, I guess DJ Chark gets a K. I guess. I mean, Jay Gruden had Jamison Crowder, Josh Doxson, and Paul Richardson, so nothing. So I can't grade Jay Gruden.
Yeah.
I watch the Jaguars because I think Leonard Fournette is one of the most underrated players in the league, and it freaking bothers me. Just, I mean, he had over 400 yards receiving too, and he had a 1,000-yard year. Come on, man. But yeah, I don't know.
For sure.
He's good, man. I don't know what the bad rap is on Leonard Fournette.
His yard per carry isn't great, but the guy showed he can be a workhorse, and he gets, So
yeah.
Same thing with Derrick Henry though. When he first started, before he blew up, his yards per carry wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But he's just so. I mean, he's just like Fournette. He's carrying that team. Everyone knows they're running it and handing off to Leonard, and he's just a train, man. He's a massive train. He's just gonna run you over, or he's gonna stiff arm you to the ground and bury you.
He is. And do we ever talk about the Jags O-line in a positive manner? Like, I don't know.
MJD years, maybe.
Playoff years.
Yes.
Man. But, I mean, I guess as a product of the system and maybe being the second best player on that offense and maybe playing from behind, I guess Chark hits a K. Sure. There you go.